Just a reminder that any thoughts, opinions, and points of views expressed during this podcast are those of the individual and not of the Grand Lodge, appendant body, or concordant body that individual may belong.
Welcome, Pen and Compass. This is another episode in our Lewis Masonic Publishing Author Series, and we're actually recording in the morning because our guest is from the United Kingdom, from England, and Rodney is co-hosting with me on this one. So we're going to move forward and talk to Mick Pescod. There it was.
Yep.
Pescod, and
Yep.
we're excited to have you on here. Martin had hooked us up. Martin Fawkes, the owner of Lewis Masonic, and you are very involved in your Freemason, and tell us about what you're doing to help better your community through Freemasonry.
Okay, but do you want to start how it started?
We've already started. Yeah.
Yeah, just start from the beginning. Give us a little background of yourself, when you joined the fraternity, and what led you to start this homeless mission over there.
Okay, well, I've been a Freemason over 35 years now. And about 10 years ago, 11 or 12 years ago, in England, the thing was Freemasonry and the community. And that's what put the thought in my head, really. But going on to 10 years ago, we was down London for a family weekend. We saw a show and had a meal, and on a Saturday morning, we went to Oxford Street shopping. You've probably heard of Oxford Street. And it was a bitterly cold day. It was snowing and it's freezing cold. And I went shopping off on my own. And I went past this doorway. It was an empty shop doorway. And there was 3 homeless guys all huddled up, absolutely frozen. And I walked past them, the same as all the shops did with their bags and the shopping. And I got 20 yards up the road, and I felt guilty. I turned around, I thought, I can't leave them there. So I went back and I offered them a hot drink and food. So I was a bit dubious at first, but he said, yes, please. So I said, well, give me 10 minutes. And I went to McDonald's and got them party packs and hot drink. And they was really pleased. They were so pleased. And I walked away, and I felt quite pleased with myself. I thought, well, that's, But then I thought, well, what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day? So anyway, we went off home. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're doing great.
Okay, so I went off home, and there was, in the Freemasons magazine, there was 2 guys advertising for a volunteer for feeding homeless in Peterborough. So I volunteered for them. It's about 20 miles from us. And I drove up and...
From Cambridge, not from London.
We're actually at St Neots, which is a small place between Cambridge and Peterborough. So it's about a 20-mile drive, and I drove up to help them. About twice I helped them, and then all of a sudden they said, look, we're packing up, because they were feeding out of a builder's van. And they said, do you want to take it over? And I said, yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll take it over. And they left me to it, basically. So I went home, and with help with my son-in-law, who's here now, he lent me his van. And my son, he let me use his business premises for storage. And I put in a Facebook page message out for volunteers. So the first night I went on my own, I managed to get some food and drink. And and there was a few people there, just a few people. And some lady come along, and she offered to help, which was nice, and that was good. And it progressed from there. And from just, a handful of homeless, they got to hear of us, and it built up to 60, 70, 80, 90 people. And of course, once you've got that many people coming, you've got to build up your volunteers. So I had a string of volunteers we bought a van, and it started from there. And going on towards sort of now, we've got 6,000 members on our Facebook page, and we've got 3 vans, and we've expanded the area. My colleague, who is also a Freemason, is quite high up in the Freemasons. His name's Jed Dempsey. He wanted to get involved, and so we became joint trustees, and we named it the Three Pillars after the Freemasons, the Three Pillars, and we built the thing up from there. And I've issued this. There's no book. Have you heard about my book?
Yeah, well, that's what we're going to talk about, Mick.
Yeah.
That's what.
Well,
I've got,
we're just looking. That's a book. Can you see it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up on the screen. Just give me a sec.
Okay.
So, how did Martin Folks get involved with this to publish your book?
Well, Martin Folks bumped into me when he moved up to our lodge. He bumped into me, and I had the Freemasons van, the charity van we have. And he said, "Are you a member of the Freemasons?" I said, "Well, yes." And so, yeah, that's it.
Well,
So,
yeah. So, what was that interaction like with Martin?
Yeah, so we got to know each other quite well, and I said, I'm thinking about producing a book, and so I had a book written out, and he has helped me sort of publish it and get it around the advertise it.
Oops, I think I lost.
I think he sold. I ordered 500 copies originally, and it's just a story from start to finish, really. When I say finish, up to last year when the book was published. And it just gives an interest in all the little stories about different people in different places. And so I've had some good reports about it.
No, this is very interesting. One of the things that's been in my heart over the years, charity-wise, has been feeding the homeless locally. So, and I don't hear too much about it within the fraternity where I am at. So when I saw that there are lodges that are involved in doing such, I was excited to have you on this show.
Yeah, for us, Rodney and I try to live out, not just to kind of be a hollow outward thing. We try to meet every person where they're at, whether they're a Freemason or not. I'm speaking for Rodney, but I know that I'm not speaking for Rodney because he and I have shared our lives together and our hearts together so much that he would be just as excited to hop on there and be queuing people up or whatever you needed him to do, pulling trash, whatever. And I would obviously be the same way, restocking the coffee cups or whatever we needed to do for you if we were there, and we weren't 6 hours, 5 hours wait time. So it was thousands of miles.
I'm excited to continue to hear your story about this because I'm the current worshipful master of my local lodge, and I have been trying to think of what kind of charity I could do here. This might be the answer. So continue on.
Yeah. Well,
I'm gonna go to the Facebook page real quick, Mick. Can y'all see that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that the right one?
Yeah, I think there's 2 or 3 on the Facebook page.
Yes.
That's one of them. We've got the one on the guy on the left of the picture is Jed Dempsey. My is a trustee, and he really is running the whole patch now. Because I'm almost 80 years old, so he's more or less taken over. Apart from the area I live, which is what I still cover it now, but he covers all the expansion. So it's set up in Northampton, the Welling Borough, and I think it's just opened at a place called Dunstable.
Yeah.
So it's expanding the thing,
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite happy doing what I do. there's not many homeless in where I live. It's a place called St. Neots. But what we do, we deliver 200 bags of food and groceries a week round to the elderly, people that are really struggling, the families, and the vulnerable people. So every single week of the year, and we have done this for 5 or 6 years now, we've got a whole team that get the food from the supermarkets, bag it up, and deliver it round. So it's a big operation, really. I think we've got 60 or 70 volunteers here in my little area, St. Neots. And then there's all the volunteers that do the other areas as well. And it's a complete mix of Freemasons and the community. So, which is one of the goals that we was asked to do, really. So,
Now, when you're out there delivering food with your vans, do you guys have like the Masonic emblems on your vans to recognize yourselves as Freemasons?
yes, we do. We do.
Maybe there's a picture. I'll try to investigate that, Rodney. Give me a second.
Yeah, there's all. I'll see if I'll show you the picture. A very nice message. This was our provincial Grand Master, and it's on the inside of the book. Do you want that? So look at that. It's the past provincial Grand Master.
Okay.
Yeah, it's provincial Grand Master being. You have a Grand Master over all the UGLE. That then provincial is for us would be like a state jurisdiction.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. It's the same sort of thing. Yeah.
Similar. Not exactly, but similar.
No, that's similar, I think. I'm just going to show you, if I can, a picture of the vans. Okay, and also we've actually done, we've taken some van loads to Ukraine. We haven't actually taken them to Ukraine, but we pass them to
There we go.
a warehouse who drive them up to Ukraine to help the people that were,
Ukraine, that as in like the Russian war.
Yeah.
Like
we're obviously not involved in that, but there's a lot of people that needed help. So we've clothes and sleeping bags and things, So the bulk of our business really is, I do locally, say within a 10 or 15 mile radius. We look after all the homeless people that are there, plus all the people, the elderly people, where they're very often their partners died, and so they're quite lonely. So we go around there regularly every week and give them food.
Yeah,
and chat as well, talk as well.
So we have a couple of programs, not totally Freemasonry based, but we are involved with that. So in Arlington Masonic Lodge in beautiful downtown Arlington, Texas, where I live, in my home lodge, where I've been a member for going on 27 years now. We have 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. We have nice large building and lots of parking and all those type of things. And I don't know how many people we have, but from like mid-morning, like let's say 9 o'clock till 11, we have a whole what's called I went blank on it. It's where you go and you pick up food and you take it to people. Same thing, but you're taking it to their homes, and part of the route is do what? Meals on Wheels. Meals on Wheels. Yeah,
Meals on Wheels. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that we don't. I mean, we just provide, and we even keep their coolers and all the stuff that they need, and we happily do that. And we don't charge, obviously, for the use of the building or anything like that. It's a part of our charity that we.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That we do, and then within. I mean, it's probably common for Rodney's groups also, whether it be the Blue Lodge, a Scottish Rite group, maybe a York Rite, or different things, Shrine, and different entities. You, like you said, you have widows, and you have maybe elderly members that can't get out, and a lot of times it's either a formal program with the inside of the group, or it's something that just a group of guys decide to do, and leaders decide to do within it, and reach out to the widows. We usually, if we have any kind of Valentine's Day or Christmas party or anything at our lodge, our 4th of July, anything that we have an open public meeting where we're going to be socializing and especially providing food, we'll even assign people as a part of that day and that event to go pick them up and bring them. Of course, if there's a fee for like for you or I or Rodney and his wife to attend the Valentine's Day dinner, that would be waived, obviously, and we would just be happy that they were there and getting to share that time with us, and especially if they're bringing stories of maybe we have past masters pictures on the wall, not necessarily that to be a past master, but just my husband loved the lodge, and this just hopefully creates a really warm time for them, and kind of what you were talking about, a little bit of a break in their everyday. So definitely.
Yeah,
to tie that in, to go a little bit further, Jeff, locally, the only time I've ever heard of Masons feeding the homeless would be if we have like a big dinner at the Scottish Rite stated meeting or the Shrine stated meeting. We would donate that leftover food to the local veterans shelter.
Yeah.
So far, it hasn't gone beyond that, but I would love to see it go beyond that.
Arlington's a large enough group that whenever we have those things, when we have those leftovers, we take them to the Arlington Night Shelter, which is homeless. It's a homeless charity. We have Mission Arlington, which is the churches in Arlington have come together and built their own services for at-risk people, and they have apartment ministries, and they have people come in and all the different things that you would need medically that these people can't get maybe the right services for, dentists and some specialties like eye doctors and things like that. So that's not our lodge, but we've given the Community Builder Award to the lady that founded that. So we always are trying to either, and maybe sometimes we've donated money at different times, and then also maybe announced it in our meetings that this is not an official lodge charity, but we're all a part of our community here as members, and if you'd like to be a part of this, they just had a thing in Dallas, the Dallas Scottish Rite, Tannehill number 52, Feed the Funnel, where they go and they package what you were talking about. I can't remember how many thousands of basically this time of the year, whenever people are needing things after the holidays, it seems to be an economic crunch for a lot of people, but providing at-risk and homeless people food. So not that I'm just trying to show that this is all over the world, and so Freemasonry has this at its heart, and it's expressed in different ways. But we think yours is an amazing one, that you've got an actual van and you're providing these things right where these people are sitting, literally on the sidewalk. That's amazing.
You're meeting people at their worst moment in life potentially, and trying to reach out and lift them up.
And what is your, so without getting them really kind of political and things, what do you see as far as whenever, I'm sure you've talked to a few of these people, and that's in the book.
Yeah.
What is your conversations with them whenever you're
homeless people?
Yeah, the homeless people. Yes, sir.
Well, it seems to be gradually getting worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
We appear to gradually get more and more homeless on the street, and people in poverty. It's which is very sad. But they don't get very much help. I mean, there is what you were talking about, night shelters. There are a couple of night shelters around, but the trouble is, there's lots of people with drug takers, alcoholics, so they're not really 100% safe. So a lot of the homeless people, they shun away from them. They would rather sleep out rough. My colleague, Jed Dempsey, he has arranged housing for quite a few of the homeless where we can. And we've got good relations with our local councils and this sort of thing. Because we've got such a lot of members on our Facebook page, that if there's any homeless around that we don't know about, we get to know about them. And we go and see them if we can, give them food and whatever, and put them in touch with the correct authorities. because so that we do get housed with quite a few people over the course of the years, so it helps, you know.
What are your
What?
conversations like when you are interacting with the homeless that you're feeding?
Well, they're so grateful. We very friendly conversations, but they are so grateful, and they all asking about the Freemasons and you know how it's done. Uh, but some of them, you know, you give them clothes and they have to go. They might be soaked and drenched, as you probably realise yourself. And we give them the clothes, and they go to the nearby toilet and get changed into the new clothes that we give them, and they throw the old clothes away. Uh, so they are really queuing up waiting for us when we arrive.
Yeah.
So you know, we
What
just do chat to
So,
them
so
all.
queuing up is, I mean, I'm sure Rodney's Neapolitan enough, cosmopolitan enough, but queuing up for the rest of the U.S. means they're lining up
right,
to,
yeah.
Oh yeah,
they're getting in line, in a single file line, or kind of standing around where the back of the van is, or the side door of the van, or
that's right. Yeah,
if Mick and them have like a temporary table set up or
yeah,
something
that's right.
to help
Exactly right.
serve off of that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, it's what we would call, before in a sporting event, we would call it a tailgate, and basically you're tailgating for good. I love it.
okay.
I
Yeah,
love it. You're tailgating for
Well,
good. But
that's good. That's good.
tailgates are always happy, celebratory time. It's like the soccer match before your team hasn't lost.
Yeah,
So you're always happy before the match, or before
yeah,
the
quite.
game, or
Yeah,
whatever, the event.
yeah,
And so, or you're about to go into a concert or something, in a large arena or something. People,
yeah,
speaking of feeding
yeah,
the homeless like that, like a tailgate setting or just a table
out in the
setting,
park, yeah, out in
yeah.
the park or something, yeah.
what do the authorities think of that there? Because locally, I know there was a guy that was actually in the papers, that an older gentleman that was feeding the homeless in a park, and he just set up a table like you did, and the police would arrive and arrest him. The next day when he got out, he'd go there and feed the homeless again because he thought that was very important and he was not scared of going back to jail for it.
Yeah,
That's what happens here locally sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
So what do the authorities think of
But
Well,
do you have to have a permit to do that, Mick?
no, no, we don't. The authorities know that we what we're doing. What they won't have is tents. They don't let the homeless sleep in tents all around
Yeah, right.
especially Cambridge, as you can probably imagine.
Yeah,
So they tend to sleep in the woods,
right.
Mhm.
to be honest. And Peterborough, well, it's different areas. They've got different views.
Yeah.
But Peterborough, they don't seem too bad. But they have little spells where they will take any tents they snatch and destroy. So that what it means is really that we have to buy some more tents.
Yeah. So
But
I'm going through, I'm looking at some of the, as we're talking, some of the different, like,
that's
where else,
one of those.
let's go through, Rodney. What do you think? And let's just say a day in the life of feeding the homeless through this program.
Yeah, give us the process from start to finish.
So here's the commercial kitchen that was talked about on the last web page that we were looking at. So
Okay, yeah.
can you see that, Mick?
Yeah, if you want to,
I can see it. That's
Okay.
one of the newest areas we've started, a place called Dunstable, which is outside our province. So what we have to do is get the authority to be able to work from there,
Hmm.
because it's in one of the other lodges, Mason's provinces.
So is this at a lodge building, or
I haven't been there actually. It's all very new.
is this at some other facility that's not a?
My colleague Jed Dempsey has been sorting this out. He goes around the lodges. I mean, he's out practically every day of the week, speaking to different people about the trip is what we do.
So
okay.
there was a glitch for me, technical wise. I didn't hear the answer. Of course.
He said this was new, so he's not familiar with it. But
Okay.
so considering this is a new facility here, go back into what you're familiar with. How do you start the process, gaining the food, and then go from there and describe the whole process from
Right.
start
Okay.
to finish?
Well, I started, as I say, I started off with helping out two guys. And when they left, I was on my own. So I quickly got somebody to help me. So there was a couple of us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of volunteers around. If you ask volunteers, so women would make us hot drinks and hot dogs and that. One of our Freemasons, he was manager of our local civic hall, and they provide hot food. And he used to heat up our hot dogs and jacket potatoes, that sort of stuff. And then we take it out. And of course, as it increased, the numbers increased, so did our, it's just a natural increase, really. So did our volunteers and the food we needed to get. So it just gradually built up. We had no idea 10 years ago what it would be like now. We just had no ideas. But it's just a gradual progression. Because it's word of mouth with the homeless people. If the word gets around very quick.
I bet so.
As you can imagine, really.
Yeah, I mean, and that system's kind of been there in place. Golly, I'm trying to think of the there's some movie or some series or something I was watching, and it was a period thing back to the early 1900s in the U.S. And the vagabonds or the hobos or whatever you want to call them, similar lifestyles back then, and they had a way of, with like chalk or something, going by, and if someone was nice to them and provided them, like they had a different, this goes into like Freemasonry. This is like they would mark the outer gates of a more affluent house across the country, and they would mark that in a certain way, and they had their own code and their own sigil, Rodney, to kind of bring things back to a pin and compass level.
Yeah.
And their own sigils to say nice person, very kind, and like they could sit there and give you they would sit there and give a review, like a 4 or 5 star, like a 5-star review of their experience with, just like we might do with Uber or a hotel or something, same kind of thing. And they would sit there and say, hot meal, very nice, smiled at me, made me feel happy.
Yeah.
Or don't even stop there. They're going to kick you out and maybe even try to get you arrested.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, same things that you're kind of talking about.
Yeah. In the book there, it's illustrated quite a few stories, but there's some very sad ones with women, who have been abused.
Right.
And come to us. We've had one woman that's come to us, and it was in the winter, but she just had a sort of bare summer clothes on, really. Yeah. And she'd been battered and had nothing. She was kicked out of the house and she had nothing. And she come to us and she was in tears and upset. And amongst our volunteers is hardcore women. There's quite a few women volunteers. Mm-hmm. And they took her into the back of our van and kitted her out with all the clothes and stuff and food and everything else. And we've even arranged for them to go in a hotel for a night or two to get themselves sorted out, and then try and get them accommodation. So it's quite a few cases. We've had two guys airlifted in from different places, but one down at the Great Yarmouth. That's about 100 miles away. And he was stabbed. He was in a shop doorway with his girlfriend, and they tried to attack her. And he resisted, and he got stabbed, seriously ill. And he got airlifted to a hospital in Papworth. I don't know if you've heard of Papworth. And then he was released, but that was it. He had nothing. He was released, and he made his way to our van, and he showed me the cuts he had. God, and we was like a fourth rescue service for him, really, because we kitted him out with clothes and all this, put him in a hotel for 3 or 4 days, and managed to get him settled. So things like that, it makes a great difference to people, So it's quite a few. One woman was set alight in her tent when she was asleep, and had all burns. and she come to us, and we sorted her out. So it is very, very rewarding, as you probably know yourself.
Yeah.
So there's
So
lots. Sorry.
go ahead, Rodney.
I was gonna say, so you start with the donations with the food. Where do we go from there? Which I think is from
Okay.
this photo here.
Would When in our van, what we used to do is, as Jeff said, we get the two treasure troves out, and put all the food on it. When the food and the drink is gone, we might get the sweet things out as well. When that's gone, we queue up and we get the clothes. We got loads of clothes that we've been volunteered, and they would queue up orderly. And have you got a t-shirt or coat or a sleep bag? And we used to supply them, so they went away very happy, it's and that was a regular thing we used to do. So that, that's a normal sort of evening.
What do you
And
do to determine the location where you set up at?
yeah, one was the pub car park where the buses used to stop as well. So that was a regular one. And in Peterborough, in Cambridge, they've given us it's not a car park, it's near the Market Square,
Okay.
and we're allowed to park in there. We've got the okay from the traffic wardens, and we park in there, and that's where they queue up from.
Let's talk about. Maybe we hadn't really talked about the book much. What's
About
Yeah, just a second. Let me get it up and we'll go into that. Give me a sec to catch up with the discussion here.
Which this book is a charity effort for
Yeah.
the actual program, right? The money from the book goes back into this program. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Lewis Masonic is one of your benefactors, one of your sponsors.
Yes, he is. Yeah. So any profits from a book go into our Three Pillars Feed the Homeless account. We sell the book fairly cheap. It's so there's plenty of people willing to buy the book. And what we did, because I paid for it initially, and then once the money I got was taken out, all the profits from the book was then given to the charity.
Yeah, so I don't know if everybody can see this or not, but it basically chronicles what you've been telling us. Started in January, like you were talking about,
Yes.
2015. So we're about 11 years from that, and your story there about the Oxford Street, you're running into the three guys that are in the shop doorway and kind of trying to get out of the wind and the cold and the snow and everything, and you just run down the street to a McDonald's and buy them some what we would call either value meals, or a Happy Meal would be for the kids more, but kind of stretching the definition. You served 3 Happy Meals that night.
Yeah, the party packs you get party packs in McDonald's. There's three of them with hot drinks.
Yeah, and so I'm trying to Americanize this a little bit to help people out. And so sometimes we're two countries that are divided by a common language.
Yes,
so, that's the old joke.
I'm thinking it's like a big bag.
And so I'm probably the most Anglo-American you've ever met, because my grandmother grew up in Essex. And I still, like yesterday, Liverpool played West Ham, and that's kind of a family derby, because I'm a Liverpool fan, and they are from obviously the east side of London, and they cheer for the Hammers, support the Hammers.
So you were happy yesterday?
Yeah, sometimes I wish they'd been born in different parts of England so they could cheer for a better team, but that's a job. But no, it's things work a little bit differently, but it's still there's still such a commonality. There's still such a heritage for us as being in the United States of America, and so many of our own ancestors came from the British Isles in different ways and stuff, and we still have a very warm thing. And then our Freemasonry, you know, the Freemasonry that we practice is a direct descendant of the UGLE system. And so a lot of these things in this conversation, we're talking about the homeless, but there's a lot of symbolism that's going on. I love it. There's a lot of Masonic teachings, moralistic teachings, how we should live as men, but what we should be doing within our communities. And
yeah, well, one of our three pillars, relief. You guys are providing major relief.
We are, yeah, exactly. Not only kind of the Masonic text, but the pretext to that and what it's all based on, the volume of sacred law, the Bible.
Yes.
And the Bible in the Old Testament and the New Testament says you're supposed to protect the innocent and the vulnerable.
Yeah.
And there's no greater religion than taking up the cause of orphans and widows. And even though there may be grown people and their families are still alive, Mick, you've taken these men, especially that maybe are your contemporaries or closer to mine and Rodney's age or even younger than us, and you've taken them in as your orphans. And that's what we should be doing. And I'm almost blown away, Rodney, by this talk today.
This is a game changer for me personally, because I'm going to be taking this back to my home lodge and discussing this with them very soon.
Yeah.
So, well, I'm glad you've enjoyed the chats, really. So you've got some ideas of what we do.
Yeah.
So what are some I guess some ideas on new lodges, or not new lodges, but lodges with these new ideas? How would another lodge get this started in their hometown? Do you have any recommendations?
Well, it all depends if you've got facilities or not. Because if you've got facilities like the one you just shown me,
here, just a sec. I'll go back to that. I was going to look for more pictures, but I'll go back to that in just a second.
Okay. If you've got facilities to actually cook a meal here, it's obviously perfect.
Yeah,
not many places have. So
yeah, my local temple has a huge kitchen.
Oh, we have in the U.S. We're so blessed. Everybody has probably a commercial level kitchen, or I mean, there's a few maybe smaller country lodges and things but they still have an oven, and they could still crank out, especially for their scale, maybe if they need to feed 15, 50 people. Rodney,
I mean, that's a big focus in America, is like the pancake breakfast and whatnot. So a lot of these lodges in America have the bigger kitchens.
Yeah, and they have like we always have we eat meals within usually our own building in our dining halls and our kitchens and stuff like that.
Yeah. So that is perfect, really. Provided the lodge allows you to cook for these people and come in or whatever. If there's facilities for a sort of a canteen, that's perfect.
Right.
I mean, one of our people now, the cook for the Masonic Lodge in Pittsburgh, he cooks for the homeless as well. We pay him for his food, and he does the cooking for that.
Yeah, she's even got the logos on her shirt.
Yeah,
she's even reinforcing the brand, and there they are chopping up stuff to put in probably what that stew that they were making. So
yeah,
I think that's an important concept to this too, is advertising the fraternity itself while you're doing this.
Well, I see it also, Rodney, as that kind of that mark also of just not only are the maybe the people in the community that are not needing these services, maybe one of their hearts get turned and Mick gets some sponsorship from them and some donations from them. Maybe they donate their time, but it's also a beacon for a lot of times whenever we're going through degree work. There's certain things out there that are guideposts and symbols of positive things. And I think whenever they see this all being set up like in this picture right here. Those homeless people, I'm sure inside feel loved. They feel seen. Or they're just trying to survive and they don't feel all that. They don't feel
Yes.
feeling that. They just are happy that they're about to get some food because that's what
Yeah.
their
Too
body is
good. Yeah.
starving for. And their
Yeah.
souls, but their soul's starving for that spiritual food.
Yeah. So
And just
that.
having
Oh,
somebody that cares about them when they probably feel hopeless sparks that
yes.
spiritual
Yeah.
connection within them.
Yeah.
It makes it. You get to know all the ones, all the regular ones. You new people come in,
And I haven't beaten.
but they're all
Yeah.
once they know you're there, they're there every time. You know.
Oh yeah, yeah. As long as they're probably homeless, they've almost tried to figure out like, so y'all doing it every day or do you do it kind of
Well, no, we do. It's basically twice a week we do the areas,
twice a week? Okay.
all the
Yeah.
different areas, and if there's any requests for anything and we haven't got it, any clothing or anything, we bring it on the next
Right.
delivery.
Yeah.
But the perfect way is to have facilities to be able to cook for them so they can go into there. But, if you're just starting up and you haven't got that facility, so what I did, we bought a cheap van, which now it's gone. We've got a decent van now, and you just need a couple of people, and it just builds up gradually. You need to find a spot where the homeless congregate, where it's not too far of them. So somewhere very near a city centre or something, or somewhere which is a good meeting place. Once you find a place, it gradually builds up. But gradually build up with volunteers and your donations for food, and that's how it works, really.
Yeah.
What
Beautiful
I
concept.
Yeah. I mean, when I started, I had no idea. No idea, I just thought I'd be feeding a few people and that was it. But it's built up and built up over the years.
Yeah.
So,
How do you feel about like if other lodges pretty far outside your jurisdiction? How do you feel them starting this program within their
yeah, I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I can't go out to his lodges now because it's too far for me. But Ted Dempsey, the trustee, main trustee now, he arranges that few meetings in different lodges. He goes around to a lot of lodges, and then if anybody shows an interest, he'd take it from there, really. Uh,
'Cause, I mean, this could make a huge impact worldwide since Masonry is kind of like a spider web where we have connections and lodges all over the world. And once
yeah,
this hits other parts of the world, this could be huge.
yeah. So what we've done, because Northampton's been outside of our province, whatever your word for that is, uh, where we can see our own provincial Grand Master and he approves it all. What we've decided is if it's outside our province, like this newest one is, it's like it's the three pillars feeding the homeless danceable. So they've got their own bank account and everything else. So it's separate from us, but they've got our name.
Right. So I'm a part of a foster kid camp charity that started in California, and we are the 47th camp that they founded back 25 years ago, and but it still has the same branding. We share the same. If you went to another camp in California or Colorado or some other state, you would hear the same maybe welcome song because
Yeah, yeah,
there's like a songbook and the themes are there's a lot of scalability or individualization. It would look different, but the core things would be there. So here I'm going to
yes,
share. You also some people like books, but some people like bling. And as we know in America, right, Rodney? Some people are readers, and some
Yep.
people are things. And so a lot of times we sell, just like y'all are doing, different merchandise. Can y'all see that? The three pillars feeding the homeless
Yeah,
pin,
Yeah.
lapel pin. And so this is also another way people could purchase this through the Lewis Masonic website. And this funds would go directly also to
Yeah.
the overall charity, right, Mick?
Yeah. It was my granddaughter that designed that badge on screen.
So let's look at that a little bit closer. Rodney, we're gonna do a little bit of esoteric imagery on our. Let me get this. Let me see if I can. Let me think about this. Yeah, there we go. Let me reframe this a little bit here. So I don't know if can you see the words, Rodney? Wisdom, strength, and beauty at the bottom
yeah,
of
that's
the columns.
it looks pretty nice there.
Yeah. So we'd love to talk about the degree work and the symbolism, Mick. And so you are definitely you are all three of these pillars in one to me, the way you described all this to us. You know, you had the wisdom, you had the heart, you had the love for humanity, and then you had the strength in yourself to start this charity, this program, this outreach, and then you had the beauty to find execution of that, and you drew others to you. I mean, people are drawn to beauty, and you've done all three of those. Roger,
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
That's very kind of you, Jeff.
Great way to put it. And then you can even go further into our other three tenets or pillars of masonry: brotherly love, relief, and truth, which you are providing fully there. I mean, brothers getting together and helping out the community is providing a close connection amongst each other, and you're providing the relief of the community itself. And truth, which I think truth comes from the heart.
Well, even the brotherly relief is a bounce off of. We have a saying through Albert Mackey. He wrote back in the 1800s about Freemasonry. He said, "It's the fatherhood of God. It's under our fraternity is kind of sanctioned under the fatherhood of God, the supreme being, and it's within the brotherhood of man." It didn't say Freemasons, it didn't say the brotherhood of Freemasons, it said the
Yeah.
brotherhood of man, like as in
Yeah.
humanity, as in humankind. And um, that's the
I
genesis and
think
the
that's what,
basis
yeah, that's what our
of
true
why we
calling.
exist. That's our genesis and basis of why we exist. Go ahead, Rodney. You know always have the same. That's what we're sometimes make it hard to be around us because we're
Freemasonry,
saying the same things and finishing each other's sentences. So.
Freemasonry is just like the macrocosm or the microcosm of that macrocosmic idea that you just mentioned. The way we treat ourselves in the fraternity within the lodge room is how we need to treat mankind as a whole outside in the world.
Yeah.
But you took all those teachings that were already in your heart, even before you joined the fraternity, Mick, and you turned them into a very successful, inspiring charity for the last decade. And
Yeah.
I hope it goes on in perpetuity. I hope they can't remember. They have to go back and read your book to figure out why it all started. Because
Yeah.
it's been so successful, they just do it because it's there and it's the best thing that they know how to love upon their fellow mankind.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the provincial Grand Master said to us, the one that's pictured in the book, he's retired since then. But he said to us, one thing you've got to do is if you're going out there to do this, you've got to keep it going. You can't just pack it up. You've got to keep the thing going. So we've been going over 10 years, so we've achieved that. So, and I think the difference of the three pillars is that we actually go out in the community to the rough end, where people are really hurting, or some people are. So I think that's perhaps the difference of the three pillars.
No,
Well,
that's a very important aspect of what you're doing. Going into the parts of the town or the city where people are afraid to go.
Yeah.
there's part of the Lewis Masonic website, and it's showing you here, and this is your one book that you've written, and but it's very powerful. I have a friend of mine that wrote about his own life and some of the things that happened, and it's very powerful when you get to talk to somebody that's it's a little bit autobiographical here, right, Rodney, about that. So you're also showing your vulnerability, Mick, and you're so passionate about this. You've written a book that turns into a tool for the charity revenue. It's pretty amazing. Rodney, what are your thoughts?
I agree. And do you have a background in writing or
No.
okay.
I glitched. I glitched. I don't know. Did y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, Jeff. I just asked Mick if he had a background in writing, and he said
No,
no. So this really
I've,
did come from the heart for him to write this book here, and without a background as an author to begin with. Um, Shows you how much he really cares about this project.
yeah, I just wanted to get the actual story out there, the how it was from beginning to, well, last year, because obviously the book was printed out last year, and it's obviously carried on since then, so I'm not writing no more books.
No, this is your magnum opus. This is a great concept to spread the word. There's probably Masons out there that don't realize that we could do certain things like this.
I'm gonna go. I found the. I'm a late bloomer here, Rodney. I found the website that's actually a direct expression, not just through the Facebook page, but the three pillars.
Okay.
That's the right one. That was the one I found on the Lewis Masonic page.
So is this your official website for your project?
Yes, yeah. We tend to rely mainly on Facebook, but there is an official
Yeah,
website.
yeah. A lot of times that goes along with your what we would call your charity has to be structured a certain way, and nowadays one of the things you do is have a website, so because some people are not on Facebook or Instagram or those type of things, and so this just gives a great overview. But it says right here, the charity is run by Freemasons and is a Masonic charity, but friends and anyone who would care to assist are very welcome to join in.
Yeah,
This could be a great tool also to bring in new membership. Like maybe men in the community might be interested in joining the fraternity if they have a heart for this kind of charity,
You
knowing
know,
that Masons do this.
Rodney, and we've been talking about maybe the food side of it, maybe the nourishment side of it. But wow, how many times are we talking about the internal and the external? And the external being, I mean, it's not we're not talking about Southern California. I mean, where Mick is doing his great work is in colder climates, and
Mhm.
it's very harsh for human beings to be out in that and be homeless. So there's supplies. I mean, that's
Especially with the rain there, like their socks probably get soaking wet. They're
oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
it won't let me get a good picture here. So,
well,
um,
I mean, isn't that a biblical passage as well, Jeff? Where
oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, yeah.
well,
It's like a lot of times, the first thing that Jesus did, to bring Jesus into this conversation, because he definitely reached out to those among us, is the way it's kind of put sometimes, and heck, I mean, I lost the. Yeah, I mean, there's a passage in the Bible. I can't say the chapter, or excuse me, yeah, the book, the chapter, and the verse. But to summarize, it says, "When I was cold, you gave me your cloak. When I was hungry, you provided me with food. Whenever I was needed to be out of the shelter, you gave me a home." And y'all do that also through like the YMCA and some other
Mm.
you kind of combine. It's not only, oh, we're the three pillars and we got to do it all ourselves. You're
Yeah,
like, hey, we're helping them kind of transition, whether they're on the street or whether they're homeless, sleeping in the woods. Every now and then, like you said, with the guy that had gotten attacked and needed some medical attention and operation, post ER hospital time. And he needed 3 or 4 days to heal up and get out of the weather and get infected, and it turned into sepsis or something that was a complication of that. And maybe you might have, just from that simple act, you might have saved his arm or his hand or his leg or something that would even, if he'd have lost that, it would have even been more of a challenge in his homeless status. So, I've done a fair amount of camping and backpacking, and jobs that I've had have been kind of out in the elements before, and having your stuff, your supplies, and that's hard for them. They don't have any place to put all that stuff. In the U.S. we see them with their tents and their shopping carts and all these type of things. But I don't think in the UK y'all have big Walmarts and Targets and stuff that they can go, big supermarkets, a lot of times to have those things. So they got to have it in backpacks and sacks and all those type of reusable sacks. So I'm sure whenever you come in and you hand them what it says here, the blankets, there's tents if it's allowed in that jurisdiction, clothing says right here, coats, shoes, gloves. And then the big thing I think is what you're going with, Rodney, waterproof bags.
That's a lifesaver there. I mean, that's like their little home for their items, is that waterproof bag.
Yeah.
It's true. It's very true.
And it shows right here that, if you don't feel like you have, maybe, and there's a lot of people that they're like, I just don't have the time for that, or I see the need there, but for whatever personal reasons, they wish to just kind of donate the items. And a lot of times I've even gone past this night shelter, not to personal, I'm past the night shelter when I've been in that part of downtown Arlington, and they have a sign outside, like an advertising sign that says, we need diapers of this, because some of the battered women, abused women, they have a whole shelter for that there, and kind of a safe place for the women and children that need to get away from an abusive relationship. And they have those out there. Or we need men's socks. And so I've gone, and they don't want your used ones. They don't want the resale shop, or they don't want the vintage shop, or we would call it Goodwill. Somebody's familiar probably with Goodwill on this conversation. Rodney actually works for a charity, by the way. Rodney works for Goodwill, which is a big national U.S. I don't know if you're familiar with that or not, but it's along with like the Wine Profit is what we would call it in the U.S. Tom?
That was an editing spot. You were glitching there, but
oh, dadgummit, I was saying something really good for once, Rodney, and but the whole how much did the Goodwill part come through, Rodney?
Well, I mean, our main charity is helping the disenfranchised enter the workforce. We got our main thing, the job program. So those that are, it's hard for some individuals in America to obtain jobs that have certain disabilities. So we help them gain employment.
Well, not only that, but then whenever I'm trying to straighten up my house, Mick, or there's times that you in the U.S. it's all kinds of items that are Goodwill has these resale shops. Thrift shop? What would you call them, Rodney?
Yeah,
you talk about it because that's what you do for a living. You actually inventory all the donations. So yeah,
every brick and mortar spot we gets free donations from the public, which we get a ton of donations of anything you could think of. And then we recycle all that. We even take a lot of our shoes and send them to third world countries and whatnot.
Yeah. So it's kind of the launching point, and that's what you're doing here also. Not to overshadow, but Rodney actually, that's what he does for a full-time living.
That's good. Yeah.
we'll call it. Rodney usually uses another term, but we'll restrict that from this recording since it's going out. It's his everyday job, is a way. It's his.
Okay.
He cranks out a daily shift Monday through Friday on that. So
But
doing.
having the charitable heart, though, is what drew me to that career. It
I
was,
didn't. You know what?
Yeah.
I've known you for almost 2 years, and I've never shut up long enough to let you tell me that. Thank you. I feel blessed now, just knowing, and it doesn't surprise me one bit, Mick, that he's that guy. So,
Yeah.
um, I think this
real
is a
quick, I was
holistic.
going to add something to
Go
what
ahead.
you were
Yeah,
talking
please.
about that kind of expands upon like the actual night shelters that you mentioned. A lot of these shelters, you cannot stay the night there if you're under the influence of alcohol or drugs, which a vast majority of homeless people are under the influence, it seems.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so what you're doing is very important work, though. You're providing the needs of those that have to stay the night on the street, which
Yeah.
those are the ones that truly need the care because they are in a situation where not much official assistance is provided, like through the shelters and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, and some of that is, if you're not in your right mind, you can't be a safe person in a safe place. So
Well,
it's
yeah,
not.
that's why they have
Uh,
Huh?
that's why they have those rules. It's for safety reasons.
Yeah, because if you're already got
yes. Yeah.
19 sheets to the wind by some chemical alteration of your psyche and your consciousness, you're not going to play nice with others at some point.
No. No.
And some of those are drug addicts, so it's hard to get off the drugs to be able to stay the night there at the shelter. Um, do you guys provide any pathways to other assistance, like drug programs or employment programs or anything?
Well, we've got contacts to pass on to these people,
Okay.
and occasionally one comes out to the to the van with us.
A caseworker, Mick,
Uh,
somebody's
yeah.
like a
They come out.
caseworker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And are they a government caseworker, or are they a part of another charity?
Part of normally part of a council.
Which would be a government, would be
Yeah. Yeah.
the government. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So for us, that would be those are usually what you would call a province level. We would call the state level in the U.S.
Right.
We do that. We do
Yeah.
that. We have counties that we break our states up into, and to kind of govern those type of things. So,
That's yeah.
but
That's
it's like under a state agency, but it's expressed at that geographic county area. And so sometimes at the city area level, just because they're massive metropolitan cities, and that's just the way those things are structured. So the council, though, is more like a larger area, right? It's like not the full province, but it's maybe several towns and villages and cities in a certain area, right?
yeah. It sounds like the same sort of arrangement. Yeah.
So what are you provide? What about like do you give them deodorant? I see the toothbrushes here. I can't really tell what's in these bags right here.
Yeah.
It's donated clothes. Okay, donated clothes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming probably most hygiene products you probably provide.
Yes, we do. We do. Yeah.
There you go.
Most of them, it's not a thing we normally buy. It's the stuff that is donated to us.
Okay.
For example, my dentist supplied them toothbrushes and toothpaste.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of times there's someone that they have as a part of their manufacturing marketing budget things where they can donate toothbrushes or travel toothbrushes or something like that. We have a thing through there's a group in the U.S. that's, you've probably heard of the Shriners, but I don't know if you've ever heard of the Grotto, and they focus on dental health for adults and for youth and children. And I think we have adopted some of those programs from the national level from that group in the Grand Lodge of Texas. And we have a we go into elementary schools. Like I think it's like maybe first grade. Whenever kids are about 5 or 6 years of age, and they teach them, they provide them with toothpaste and maybe even floss, and they have little packets and happy teeth, I think is what they call it, and they volunteers from the lodge, and it could be either the male members of the lodge or the associated ladies, wives and things that are associated, and they go into an elementary school. It's all set up. It's all kind of what do you call it, Rodney? They have to go through a process to where they're allowed to come into the schools and be a volunteer from outside, and they're approved. That's what I'm trying to think.
Yeah.
And they just basically teach them one morning in their homeroom or their classroom or something to brush their teeth, and they have a little fun, and they kind of have like okay, now we're going to see if we can brush our teeth as fast as possible. Now we're going to see if we can hit. I think they make it into a little game so the kids think it's fun, and
that's right.
They kind of can pick that up and take that home, and show their caretakers, the way I'll say, because it's not always their parents. They're caretakers, who that, oh, I've got this toothbrush now, and I've got free tooth. And I'm sure there might be a couple extras for either the kid to use or for him to supply to the rest of the household. So there's all these type of things. And what about so teeth? Do you have like deodorants and things like that they can use?
Well, if they're donated, we take them in. So there's always some in stock. Yeah.
Something to help them get kind of their body cleansed and
we've always got some in stock. Wet wipes, wet wipes.
Right.
Wipes. Yeah.
You're strictly utilizing donations, or do you ever get requests from the homeless and you go out and try to get?
That's what he was saying. He's
Oh yeah. Well, if we can help, we will.
He's saying they go twice a week, so if they coming back out on Thursday, they try to have it.
Okay.
Right, Mick?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So what would be some of the unique things that are outside of these supplies and donations that you normally give out? What would be something that you remember off the top of your head that
dog food?
That makes sense. Yeah, there's actually a program with pet food manufacturers now.
We do get quite a lot coming in. Dog food.
Yeah.
People don't know there are a decent amount of homeless individuals that carry their dogs with them.
Well, that's smart, because nobody can walk up on you and sneak up on you if your dog.
Well, I saw they love their dogs. I really do.
Yeah, no, they're. So what else, Mick?
Well, it sounds strange, but brown paper bags for food. We get rid of so many. The large brown paper bags of handles.
Yeah.
We use about 200 a week just for the food rounds.
But what's something that the individual homeless people have maybe requested and said, thank you for the food today, thank you for my toothbrush, thank you for my clean clothes, thank you for my new tent, and thank you for my hygiene products.
Yeah.
And my dog food. What's maybe another thing that they've individually asked for? And I love it that you're not going, no, this is what we have. If you go find that somewhere else. Your heart's still there, and you're like, I'm going to meet every individual need that kind of in my theology that God brings your way.
Yeah. Well, it's the basics. I mean, the homeless basically it is all the clothes and sleep bags and things.
Yeah.
But it could well be a size shoe or just a size trainer or a particular size jacket.
Yeah. And so that would be tennis shoes or jogging shoes, by the way. A trainer is what we would call a tennis shoe or tennis shoe or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
What do y'all call those up? Rodney's from those states up north. What do y'all call like Nikes and New Balance and Adidas and stuff? Rodney?
They're almost generalized as like just basketball shoes.
Yeah. Well, you're in Indiana. I mean, everything's a basketball shoe in Indiana. So unless it's a boot or a loafer, unless it's a dress shoe or whatever. So yeah. And Go ahead.
So occasionally there's a couple, there's two or three people who've got special food needs, dietary needs, so
That's a good point there.
we give them special bags.
Yeah.
So, and it's just different sizes of clothes. You can't stock everything.
Yeah.
Towels as well. Towels are always very handy.
Yeah. Yeah.
People do offer us a lot of bedding, but that's not always quite so handy because it's so bulky.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's difficult for people on the streets because once they get wet or they're used, that's it.
Do you ever hand out like those emergency blankets that are real thin and you could fold it up, but it helps prevent like hypothermia?
Yes, we got them. Yeah, we have.
It's very
Yeah,
cool.
I think they find it quite well. But when people start saying we got all these duvets, well, they're no good for us, really.
What's something that maybe a homeless person, this may be a good question, Rodney. What's something that maybe a homeless person has requested and you just don't feel that it's proper for you to supply that to them? Thinking about maybe divesting yourself before you go through an initiation in Freemasonry is kind of the clue there.
Yeah.
So is there something that they've asked for that you're like, yeah, we don't feel like we can provide that for you? Because that would also give us a good kind of feel for where they're at.
Well, the thing is that we don't give out normally as a rule, unless it is cash and money,
Yeah.
because that can go to more drugs. It's unless it's a completely, it might be a mobile phone or something. Maybe that's different, but so we're not to give out any cash.
Mm-hmm.
Alcohol,
Obviously. Yeah.
we don't take any glasses out either because that can be dangerous.
Glass, you said?
Yeah,
Yeah. Everything's got to be plastic, or it's got to be some type of plastic or paper or something.
Plastic's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't give out things that are could be a risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean that's also technically a liability on your end that could cause some problems for the program.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Sure. I was going directly to like, you're not going to provide them with a knife. Even if
No,
it's, I'm going to only use it for
no.
cutting up my food or something or whatever. You're like, no, we just can't do that because it can be used for it can become an offensive item.
Yeah, no, yeah, we don't carry knives.
Yeah, so that would be kind of going back to preparation for initiation within Freemasonry. You're doing the same things. You're trying to help them cleanse their environment of anything that could hurt them.
Yeah.
Or take away from their success. So
Have you encountered any dangerous moments yourself where you have been personally threatened?
Yes.
I bet early on,
Yes,
for sure,
yeah.
when he was kind of out there doing it by himself. Yeah, tell us about that.
Well, there was one evening, there was a big queue, and there was this guy, and normally I've seen him before. He's normally very quiet. Very quiet. But this particular occasion, he had obviously taken some drugs or something because he was out of his face. And where we got the trestle tables in the van, we just left a bit of room for us to get through. So we could go into the homeless. And I put this a litter bin, a plastic box, if you like, covering the gap. So if anyone wants to go through, I'll take the litter bin out of the way. And this guy come and sat on the box. So I said, excuse me, you can't sit here because we need to get in and out. And he wouldn't move. He wouldn't move. And he knocked the coffee urn off the table.
On purpose. On purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got mad and he was like taking it out on, he wasn't going to hit you, but he was going to destroy something around him.
Yeah. So then he lifted up the box, this plastic box, and he was going to hit me over the head with it. It's true. It's going to hit me over the head with it. So I was going to just get some protective action, bit of protection for myself. And this little girl that was in the queue, I think she was Polish, she ran up to him and jumped on his back and had him around the neck.
Oh, wow.
And all the homeless guys that piled in and he ran off. So that was a good memory. That's what.
Now, what do you guys do to remain safe yourself? Do you guys carry weapons or anything on yourselves or anything of that nature? Or
No, once I've had to. We shut ourselves in the van once. But that was about it, really. Normally it's fine.
So you didn't feel safe, so you to try to Americanize it. You said shut yourself in the van, which means that you got it, you pulled everything in and you just closed the doors and locked it.
Yeah, not doing that, because if you do that, it's everybody else's suffers as well. But once we was done that, and once we had the police come round, one guy had reported the police because somebody had physically assaulted him. We hadn't seen that, but anyway, he come round to our van and wanted to know if we'd seen this guy.
Mm-hmm.
But he was quite well known for being a bit of a villain. But anyway, they left and they said, "Well, thank you, what a great job you're all doing," and they went off. So, but that's not normal. It's not normal. Normally, most of the guys are so appreciative, you know. They're not your friends. They're your friends when they're getting food, but you mustn't think they're your friends, because they're not. They can return on you, but you know, you do get to know the good ones.
from my previous experience helping the homeless myself, this was before I even joined the fraternity. I never encountered any personal issues. I mean, you might go into some shady areas, but for the most part, they seem like they will be appreciative of your work.
Yes, I'm sure. Yeah. If you're trying to help them, they don't abuse you, do they?
Right.
So, you know, one thing that we usually incorporate into these, and if you still have some time, we'd love to extend this a little bit and tell us about how you became a Freemason. We always love to hear the stories. I mean, you said 30, was I listening, Rodney? Was it 32?
36 years,
36
roughly.
years ago. I had 36 and 32 in my head, but yes. So what lodge are you? I'm gonna stop sharing and maybe try to. What lodge are you a member of?
See, Euston Lodge, Euston.
Houston.
Euston, Euston.
Okay, just go over that again. What lodge?
Euston, Euston.
See, whenever you're saying it, I hear the city of Houston, Texas. HU. Common language. Okay, keep on going. Thanks, sir.
And I was in the financial services, and my immediate boss, who I was there quite a few years, he asked me, "Have you ever thought about joining the Freemasons?" Just like that. I said, "Well, no, I haven't really." He said, "Boy, you interested?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I don't mind. You know, interested in having a look." And as it turns out, he's quite a high. I didn't know that, but it's quite a high figure in the Freemasonry. Anyway, he proposed. I went here, and what I heard, I was impressed with. So they proposed me.
Right.
And I was in, and that was it. And that's 36 years. And this guy George Bonham, his name. He's quite a high figure. He's a grand officer, and he was the provincial Grand Master of the Mark degree.
Right?
Have you got a Mark degree in America?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Just
yeah.
did one yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rodney and I, so we have it under, we combine it with the Royal Arch. It's a four.
Yes, we do.
It's
Yeah.
actually, if you include the Order of High Priesthood, which is our chair degree.
Yeah.
Rodney in his state and in my state, we express it very similarly. And one of my favorite things to do is to take what we do in Texas and compare it to what they do in Indiana, which is slightly different, especially in the Royal Arch degree towards the end, without giving out too much of that detail. But so we have the Mark Master degree, we have the Past Master degree, which sometimes in England and Scotland you use as your chair degree in the Blue Lodge. And so, and
Here
then
we
we have,
call it the virtual past master degree.
and see, Nick, you just made me so happy. I get to talk about the Royal Arch system in the U.S. And then we have an American degree that's the completion of King Solomon's temple, and the day of dedication of the temple. We do a ceremonial out of the Bible, and so we do all these really cool things in that ceremony, acting it out, and it's called the most excellent master's degree. And then genuinely, the way our Royal Arch is written, you start as it's a progressive system. So you start your Royal Arch degree not as a Master Mason, you started as a Most Excellent Master, because that's your prerequisite degree to get there, which you've already been taught certain. It's almost like a bridge, like the Master Mason was here, and then this Most Excellent Master gave you this unique thing. Well, now you're going back and you're looking for how to rebuild the temple that was destroyed by the Babylonians, and in the time of the Persians. So with Zerubbabel, and we have Zerubbabel within our Royal Arch, which is akin to the English as well as the Scottish system. The Irish system would be different than that, and they would be looking to repair King Solomon's temple under the time of the biblical time of Solomon's heir, his probably a great grandson, Josiah. Josiah. And so that's Irish Freemasonry system. And then their Night Masonry, which Rodney and I are both members of Night Masons, and then we have a direct Irish lineage of that degree. And that is actually the Zerubbabel sagas that you're used to. And a lot of and Night Masonry is also practiced in England, as far as I know. So out of Grand Lodge of Ireland system.
Yeah.
So
I like the.
so here's Martin meeting with, it looks like it says your general manager. Would that be he? Would this guy Chris Jones for your lodge? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Is it the guy on the left is a fairly new member?
Yeah.
He
So
was
I get it now. I'm seeing, no, it's like, okay, so Lewis Masonic, he's in business with Martin and Kitty. I get it now.
I
see
think
that.
he's the GM of Lewis Masonic.
Yeah, cool. And so Martin was there for the conferral, I assume, right? Right, Mick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then here's kind of your lodge talking about your
Yes, it's like a
charity and-
TARDIS. Do you know what a TARDIS is in America?
say again.
It's like a TARDIS. Do you get Doctor Who in America?
Oh, got
Arch
you.
You go in the door, and it's a little place, and it's quite a big place.
Is that like a time machine in Doctor Who?
Yeah, that's
portal?
right. You go in the door there, and it's surprising what's in there. You know, it's that's where Martin's got his office in there. And there's the dining areas upstairs, and the lodges at the back.
So are you still active at that lodge?
So everything's glitching, Rodney.
I was gonna say, Mick, is that still your home lodge?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
I live about 250 yards from it. Live around the corner.
Oh, nice.
Very handy.
And you said he's got his office in that lodge building?
His office in there, yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is kind of a search. Hey, look, there's Fort Worth and there's Arlington. Very similar pages. That's obviously the algorithm working for me, huh? So this right here you're saying is, what is this?
That's the Houston Lodge.
Got it.
Houston.
Yeah.
And in there is the Craft, the Royal Arch Mark, and the Mariner.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have Knights Templar meetings in it as well.
Yeah, that's similar. So when you're saying, so the Mark Master degree for us is in the Royal Arch system, which we've already talked about that. The Royal Arch is the governing degree from us from a state level. And then the Allied Masonic degrees of the United States of America, which Rodney and I both are members of that. Very blessed to be and privileged to be. It's an invitational body. You have to be invited to that, and that contains the Royal Arch Mariner degree. Along with Rodney, do you remember my title at the Grand Council level for my committee chair?
For which body? The Allied Masonic degree body?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I forget what you said it was.
Okay. All right. I was trying to get you to say something instead of me self-introducing, me self-titling here. So I'm the committee chair, and I answer directly to our most venerable Sovereign Grand Master. And I've been privileged to do it. I'm going to my third year for the Order of Secret Monitor for the David and Jonathan degrees. And in the U.S., we have 4 degrees in that system. The American version of the Secret Monitor is really what it is. And then the Order of Secret Monitor, we have the first degree from England, the second degree from England, and then the chair degree for Supreme Ruler. And that's obviously, once you become, for us, a sovereign master of a local council, you're entitled to take that. And I've been privileged to confer that at Masonic Week, which Rodney and I just were at in February. Had a heck of a time. And Ian Kearns, the Grand Summus of Most Distinguished, he helped me corral cats, Mick, during that ceremony, and made sure us Americans did the British work, the English work, the proper way. And kept us on our P's and our Q's, as we'd say over here. So, yeah.
That page that you're on now.
Yes, sir. Tell us about this.
About the Houston Lodge open evening.
Uh-huh.
I put an invite to a lot of non-Masons and the women, as well as the Masons. It's an open evening. If there was new members can have it, fair enough. But a lot of people have wondered, kept saying to me, "What is in that building?" So I said, at the Lodge Committee meeting, I said, "Look, I'd like to have an open evening so that local people could come in and see what we're doing, the charity and all this sort of thing, and what Freemasons is all about."
Yeah.
And it was well attended. About 40 plus people there. So that was
from the outside. 40 people from the outside.
Well, probably 2/3 from outside and a third.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you get any petitions at that point?
Yes, we did. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, good. Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it paid off. Yeah.
Maybe we need to get him to come to America, Rodney, and help us with our Freemasonry, because he just grows stuff. He's like the eternal gardener. He just like plants things and they grow. He's got the green thumb. Hold up your thumb. Hold up your thumbs. We want to see if they're green or not, Nick. Like you've got this metaphorical green thumb with people. Amazing.
What he's doing though is a great idea. Having an open house to your lodge building.
Well, we have that built into the Grand Lodge. Yeah, so we have a whole Grand Lodge program. Here's how you set one up, or here's a format for it, and then within our internal lodge of excellence type things, Rodney, we have that's a part of, if you're going to earn what's called a Vanguard Award for your lodge for an annual year of some level. And now it's just to hold it, and you hope that it's successful in whatever metric that you want to use. It didn't say,
Yeah.
did you get a new member out of that? But you get, it's kind of a point scale. If they do that, let's just say they need 5,000 points or 2,500 points. Well, they get maybe 250 because that's a lot of work. But usually in my lodge, we have every membership group that meets there, whether it be chapter council commandery or the Scottish Rite, or we have Rainbow Girls and we have D Malay chapter in there. Sometimes we've even brought in Boy Scouts of America, Cub Scouts and Boy Scout troops, because a lot of us are involved there locally with those groups also. Maybe even there's a thing called Key Club, which is a part of like Kiwanis, which is a civic group within the U.S. And we also have the Lions Club, which these are things Rodney would be interested. A lot of our membership is not just active in our lodge; they're in the Lions Club and maybe even those other groups, because the Rotary Club or something has sponsored that day, because one of our members named Corey, they all seem to be named Corey. They're a part of our kind of civic and charity work that's aligned with our lodge. They seem to be a part of that. So we try to be, and especially in my lodge, not every lodge is like this. I mean, we have 500 of them in Texas, and they all have their own unique challenges and personalities.
Yes,
and,
so
y'all have like what in the ULE you have over 2,000 lodges, right? Across England.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Did y'all restrict the size? How many members can you? This is a good conversation, Rodney. A little bit of let's chase the American versus the English conversation. So how many members before you start forming, kind of break off and form a new lodge?
Well, we got before my time, we just had the Euston Lodge at our place, but now we've got there was so many people trying to join that they formed a new lodge, daughter lodge. They call it Towsland. So we have actually got 2 calf lodges now.
Now, in that building, or are they?
One second. My battery's going low. Hold on.
So we were talking about the differences between U.S. American Masonry, which Rodney and I know those things, but we're familiar with the English side, and we wanted to mix unique talking and witnesses and testimonials about that. So y'all break up a lodge at what number of it hits 50, 100, less than that?
I think it's probably size of lodge for a start, size of a building.
Got it.
Because we can only feed about 60, I think 65 to sit down for a meal. And it's probably 70, 75 in the lodge itself, under the fire regs. So when they were getting to the capacity, they formed this new lodge. They called it the Towsland Lodge. But that was many years ago.
Is that new lodge? Is that meeting in the same building?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Same sort of thing. We meet on a Wednesday 8 times a year, and I think they're the same thing. We have a summer recess. The last meeting's in April, and the first one's in September.
That cracks me up. When it's the nicest weather, y'all don't go to lodge. Rodney's state y'all do that in Indiana too. Like you shut down for 3 months in the summer or something.
There's a lot of lodges it's called going dark. My home lodge does not go dark. It's up to the lodge to do so.
Okay.
A lot that does.
Well, there's jurisdictions like Ohio and Michigan where it's the Grand Lodge level. They just shut down Freemasonry for 3 months. I'm like, it just cracks me up, because here we are in the hottest part of the kind of the world, and we still keep going to lodge. And everybody else, for the weather's finally, I guess the weather's finally nice for y'all, so you don't want to be cooped up in a building even one night a week.
Actually, it has to do with there's a lot of temples in Indiana.
They have no air conditioning. I get it.
No, that's
yeah. So and that's kind of, I'm making a joke from the people on the other side of the world. I'm kind of taking a poke at well, us Texans can seem to go to lodge when it's 105 outside. What's wrong? What's wrong with those people up in Indiana, Michigan, and Ohio? So
I would have to agree. That's what we do not go dartboard.
so, but they counteract, Mick. They do a lot of social things, and they actually probably do a better job because they do picnics and things with the family, Mick, or they go out to the lake or things like that. So they go bowling and things where we probably could learn from not doing Freemasonry and trying to be important for 12 months of the year.
Yeah.
Well, to expand upon that, I noticed on that website that you had popped up that you guys have a bar in your lodge building. Is that typical in over in England? A lot of lodges have their own bar in the.
It's I think it's very typical. Yeah, I think most lodges, you've got the temples obviously separate.
That there's a huge difference. I mean, well, at least from an Indiana standpoint, because Indiana, they just made it so you could have wine in the dining room. You used to not even be allowed to even have wine.
Oh yeah. No, we've got a full bar, and we've got stewards. Stewards that run the bar, the new guys, in the dining area.
Right.
So normally you have a meeting, and after the meeting we go to the bar, have a drink, and then serve the food.
That's my kind of lodge.
Yeah.
But it makes sense to me because masonry started in a pub.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, just because it's in the fellowcraft degree, don't bring logic into Freemasonry. We all don't try to implement logic in Freemasonry and use your wisdom. So no, it's some different cultural views there for sure. Well, thank you so much. We tried to talk about your book. We tried to talk about your experience as a Freemason. But the thing that I'm glad that we really focused on with the time that we had for this episode doesn't mean that we can't bring you back and have another episode, but we really got to share who you are, your heart and your soul, and it was a beautiful vision for sure. You're definitely like I said, you're definitely all three pillars in one. But I think that beautiful Corinthian pillar on the right hand side of that logo, that's definitely you. If the great architect of the universe is looking down and looking at the finished works that are out there, that metaphorically our Grandmaster Hiram Abiff would have laid his hands upon, it definitely is what you have going on inside of you, brother.
Yeah. Well, very kind. Very kind of you.
You're a great asset to the fraternity as a whole, Mick, and definitely keep up the great work because what you're doing is phenomenal.
Yeah, and this email came across from Martin. He always tries to be very proper about things and make sure that even though we're in our partnership, that we agree to things ahead of time. And I don't even know if I read anything past the first sentence or two. Whenever it was like, here we get a chance to promote what you're doing. We didn't know a lot about it. We obviously are some of your biggest fans now, for sure. And we'll do whatever we can to even in a small way, even though we're on the other side of the world, to promote what you're doing there. And so, but we didn't. Both of us, we have this in our hearts ourselves, and we've tried to express that locally for us and within our own lives. So we thank you for sharing that with us.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine.
I just became unconnected.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Oh, I'm okay now.
Yeah,
you're it's very kind of you both. If either of you want to contact me, you've got my email address and phone or whatever. So feel free.
And if any of our supporters want to get involved, there's some people that they, even though it might be sitting in their bank account in US dollars, they would figure out how to get it to you and to help you. Or there may be someone that has a job where they're a part of an international, kind of consumer products group, and they may be able to help you. Oh, here's a way that we can bring you a whole pallet of deodorant, or something that you would need. So we'll be great.
With that in mind, we'll share out your information. We'll include the website on the release of the episode.
Let me see if I can share that real quick, Rodney, just so it gets up.
Give our listeners
Yeah, let
information.
me let me let me let me let me jump to that just a second. Give me two. Keep on going, guys. Tell me.
Or if you have it on hand, Mick, how could
Well,
our listeners contact you if you'd like them to contact you about the program?
you're probably best on my email, to be honest.
And
Which
that would
you
be on your through
meet,
that website that we were talking about.
no, just my ordinary Mick.Pescod1 at gmail.com.
So
That's
Mick,
the one you've sent.
yeah,
You spoke.
yeah. I was just trying to get it to where that's not probably on the internet. So, um, okay, we can add that. We'll earmark that, Rodney. Um,
Yeah, we'll add that to the description of the episode.
let me.
That's probably the easiest way to contact me.
Okay.
Um,
There's also the. I'm trying to get it to the right part of. I know where I'm at. Just a sec. You can edit some of this out, Rodney, as I'm trying to play catch up here.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah,
if
he's just trying to pull up your website. That way we can.
Yeah, I'm having to poke around in the dark here a little
if
bit.
you want to join our Facebook page, just feel free. Just feel free to do that.
Is it just if you look it up, is it just three pillars on Facebook?
Feed homeless. Yeah,
The three pillars would
yeah.
be the
Feed
easiest
homeless.
way to
Feed
bring it up on
homeless.
Facebook.
Yeah.
I think here's the website that we were working off of. Just a second, let me get it up to where it can be really nice and large. So, and I'll hit share.
While he's getting that ready, you've inspired me definitely to approach my lodge with this idea. I will send you an email, Mick, to let you know what they think of it.
Yeah, and it might not just be the lodge; it might be a whole district because this may take a village, like we talk about sometimes. It takes a village to raise a child, but it also takes a village to maybe get a great charity like this going on. Or if you don't want to build the structure yourself, maybe find that Meals on Wheels, or encourage your members to, even though it's maybe not a standalone Masonic charity, you help supply what they need through kind
Yeah,
of
even
working
a
together as
financial
free
donation or something.
as kind of a little bit what do I say, Orthodox Freemasonry, kind of plug in, take the power of that, but plug into an existing not-for-profit like Goodwill. Who knows?
Exactly.
So here's how, if you're interested in working with Mick over in England, wherever you're at in the world, you want to supply the things that we talked about to these people that are in need beyond description. So the three pillars trust.org.uk is how you can find him. We'll put that in our
I
description
see. Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
episode and links to that. And I don't know if we could have spent more of a wonderful Sunday morning for us, Sunday afternoon with you, Mick. Um, we're eternal thanks to Lewis Masonic and who Martin and Kitty are, and how they're trying to not only just sell their books and merchandise and things, but they definitely want to promote great causes like this. Sure.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's been a pleasure speaking with you, Mick, and learning about your charity as well as learning about you as a Mason.
Right. Thanks, Audie.
Yep.
Okay. Cheers, Jeff.
Cheers. We
All
know
the
how to
very
say that.
best.
Cheers, and it's not just because I'm raising a glass. That means I'll catch you later down the road. See you down the
Yeah.
road is what we'd say in the South.
Yeah.
Oh, until next
That's a
time.
long road.
Until next time. Yes, until next
Okay.
time. Yes. Until we
Cheers.
meet again. Yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna
Bye.
stop the recording right here. This has been our episode with Mick Pescod of the Three Pillars Homeless, and we can't tell you, like, behind me are two hands holding the light, and that's what we've been doing the whole time,
That's good.
is just holding up the light. And Rodney has so many alchemical things that's been popping through his head about all the things that this charity does within to transform and transmute our communities. And thank you, Mick. We will look forward to talking to you again. We'd love to maybe set up a time with you. Just come on and we'll maybe get some pictures, and we'll go through some great accomplishments of the charity.